Today, I've got some big news on Modern Warfare 2's Gunsmith system. This is what you're going to be using to customize your weapons in multiplayer and Warzone 2. There's some big shakeups here that I think you need to know about, and on paper, I think we're looking at some significant time savings when it comes to the overall attachment grind in this game. So let's get right into it. First of all, we'll clear up one of the major changes that's been announced today, the introduction of weapons platforms. We knew this was coming already, but we didn't have as much information as we really needed to understand the system. But in essence, it takes what would have been just one weapon in older games, and it scales it up quite massively. It gives you the ability to evolve the weapon from maybe a base AR into an SMG or a DMR or a light machine gun by swapping out something called the receiver. Now, the receiver is going to be your key attachment in Modern Warfare 2 and Warzone 2, because attachments are now shared between weapons within a specific platform. And in some cases as well, those weapons attachments are shared across all weapons in the game. This means you're going to be doing less grinding across a weapon selection, and the challenges to get weapons into a position that you want them to be in with the right attachments will be much more reasonable in terms of your time investment. So big props to Infinity Ward on that one. Camos and Mastery will of course be included for all weapons in the game, so if you do actually like the grind of sitting there grinding up weapons, you're still going to be able to go for it. And also, a firing range is going to be added into Modern Warfare 2. When you create all these different weapon loadouts, you're going to be able to test them without ruining your KD in multiplayer, which is nice. So let's focus on weapon platforms here. The example shown is the M4. It's made by Tempest Armaments, and this is the first unlocked weapons platform in Modern Warfare 2 and Warzone 2. I'm assuming it's going to be the pre-unlocked one that everyone gets access to. Now, all of the attachments for Tempest Armaments weapons are going to be shared through every weapon receiver in that platform. And the receivers you have are the M4, the M16, the 5.56 Icarus, the FTAC Recon, and the FSS Hurricane. Now, not every weapons platform in the game is going to have this many weapons. So, for example, like the RPG, that's in its own weapon platform, as well as the Mark II Lockwood. They're completely separate, and there's no other weapons in those platforms. But others do have 3, 4, or sometimes even 5 weapons in them. So this means with shared attachment progression, you're going to be unlocking attachments for all of the weapons as you move through. And then, as you unlock each receiver, it'll give you a new weapon that you can use, and you won't have to start the attachment grind again. You can use some of the attachments that you've already unlocked using other weapons within the weapons platform. As I mentioned earlier, however, some attachment unlocks don't just extend to all of the weapons in the platform, but all of the weapons in the entire game. Receivers, barrels, stocks, rear grips, and magazines, those unlock within their respective platforms. And then optics, ammo types, underbarrels, foregrips, and muzzles, those are unlocked across all weapons in the game. So that means if you were unlocking the M4 in one platform, but you unlocked an optic that you really liked, and then you moved over to another platform, that optic is going to be over in that platform for you to use. But if you were using that M4 and you unlocked a different barrel, for example, that's not going to move across. So there's a little bit of getting used to the new system there. What that actually means, though, is not every single attachment is going to have to be unlocked 40 different times anymore, and you only need to do some of them once through the progression path to make it available for all weapons. And this, to me, is just a massive step forward. It opens that door for players who don't play as often to kind of bring themselves closer to the competition, or people who can play for longer without feeling like they need to invest hours and hours and hours into specific weapons. And I think it's also going to make it somewhat easier to chase a meta when it appears. There are going to be meta guns in Modern Warfare 2. Less work is going to be required to unlock specific attachments for weapons in a platform or in another platform. So for the ability for you to pick up different receivers, essentially completely different weapons, and use attachments that you've already unlocked grinding another weapon, that feels like a very deliberate decision from the developers at Infinity Ward. And I actually think it comes from feedback that grinding the weapons in Modern Warfare 2019, that wasn't exactly the most enjoyable. So it's nice to see them really change things up here. Now, there is something even beyond this system as well, and I wanted to include it in this video because I think it's quite important. You might have seen something called weapon vaults. You might have seen a pre-order incentive for Modern Warfare 2 with this weapon that's called the FJX Cinder Weapon Vault. It's this really cool looking black and red blueprint. I'll have an image of it on the screen right now, but we've got some new information about how these weapon vaults are going to work, and essentially, you can now think of these weapon vaults as like ultimate weapon blueprints. You're instantly going to be unlocking dozens of platform native attachments from an alternative manufacturer, is written on the blog. So all of the weapon vault attachments are handcrafted with a specific cosmetic appearance in mind. And that means it's going to fix the problem that we had in Modern Warfare. You remember if you bought a blueprint in Modern Warfare 2019, let's say you had like a really nice like body on the gun that you really liked, but you didn't want to use the barrel that they included in the blueprint? Well, now with these weapon vaults, all of the different attachments, even the ones that aren't included in the blueprint that is on the screen right here, all of the attachments are themed in the same way, so they're all going to fit together, so it will look much nicer however you want to run the gun. So in the case of the FJX Cinder weapon vault, you basically just consider it like this bespoke or aftermarket version of another weapon platform. It's nearly the exact same platform, right down to the camouflage unlocks, but with every attachment available for you to use straight away with that red and black graphical design on it, no matter what attachments you picked. So it's like an extra added layer of customization for your weapon in terms of cosmetics, and it also instantly unlocks all of the attachments for that gun, but it's not the actual version of the gun that you would have grinded. I still think they need to explain this a little bit better, but I can kind of understand what they're trying to do here. You're going to be able to see it live, by the way, in the beta. If you pre-ordered the game on PS4 or PS5, you'll be able to use this FJX Cinder during the beta on the 16th, so it won't be long until we see how it actually plays out. So there's your details on how gun customization and Gunsmith is going to work in Modern Warfare 2 and Warzone 2. Make sure you subscribe for more Call of Duty content coming very soon, and drop a like if you enjoyed. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you soon.